Hello, and thank you for stopping by. This is Poncho Smith, and we are going to take a look at a little game, a little trivial excursion that unfortunately is not her lullaby, but I swear I'm in the process of working on the remainder of that experience. Instead, we have a nice little game created and published by our dear friend Jetstorm4, aka Tom York L, aka that JRPG guy, aka that Kenny Loggins impersonator. This is Meat Beat 2017, and if you're as much as a culinary expert as I am, then you understand how important it is to keep meat and other animal proteins nice and tender. So this game simulates the meat tenderizing experience, so we're going to begin by pressing the spacebar. So now we have a nice New York strip steak, and it's time to beat that meat. We have a score counter right up here. We have to attack the space bar mercilessly in order to run up our score. So this is how the meat tenderizing process would go. We have a meat mallet in our hand. And believe it or not, that's the actual sound that is made when a meat mallet comes into contact with any kind of animal protein. This is hyper realistic. I can't tell you how much this really gets to the heart of the whole tenderizing experience. So with a firm hand over our spacebar, we beat our meat like we've never beaten our meat before. And our dear bird friend is cheering us on, giving us encouragement. And you really need that if you're beating your meat for the first time. It's good to have some support. Now, not content to just leave us with a steak, if we press the arrow key here, we have some chicken breast to pound out. And yes, that's exactly the sound that's made when you actually pound out a piece of chicken breast. Now, you could use this breast meat for a variety of applications. If you like chicken katsu, you can butterfly your breasts, pound them out real thin, bread them up and fry them in some canola oil. It's very delicious. You can also pound them out real thin and cut them into nice strips. Makes it really good for stir fries. And moving along here, we have a whole chicken. And if you've never pounded a whole chicken before, trust me, this is exactly what it sounds like. Now, most people don't know this, but if the chicken is the appropriate size, you can get away with roasting it in a frying pan or a sauté pan, provided you're using a material that is oven safe, something like stainless steel. If you had a cast iron pan, you could get away with roasting the chicken in that as well. And I usually like to put some aromatics in there, a bit of onion, carrot, celery, in the inside cavity of the chicken. Oranges and lemons are very good too. And if you really want to go all out, you'll find a way to slide some butter underneath that skin. Makes it all very, very nice. Okay, we've reached our score threshold of 666 points. Let's move on to the next piece of animal protein. So that looks like it's a rougher cut of meat. Not exactly a steak quality cut. So it does look like a piece like that would be best suited for a low and slow cooking method. If it were me, I would braise this piece of meat after searing it. I would braise it in a bit of liquid, maybe a little bit of beef stock, some nice wine, perhaps a burgundy if you're looking to make boeuf bourguignon, a very popular French dish that's served with onions, bacon, mushrooms, all sorts of wonderful and delicious things. And when cutting a piece of meat like this, always make sure you cut against the grain. We have to disconnect or cut through the meat fibers in the proper way, therefore it will be much more amenable and much easier to chew. So our last piece of meat is a lovely piece of sausage. Now, there are a wide variety of sausages available at your local supermarket. I'll go over some of my favorite sausages now. The Cajun-inspired andouille sausage is a staple in Louisiana cuisine. It's often used as an ingredient in dishes like gumbo. It has a very nice spicy kick to it, so if you like heat, this is the sausage for you. Another very popular type of sausage, although most folks might be a little leery about eating this, is something that is known as blood sausage, or black pudding in the UK, morcilla in a lot of Spanish-speaking countries. So basically, it gets its dark color from congealed pig's blood, and it's often processed with, in some cases, oats to help give it a sort of a pate, spreadable-like texture. It's often sliced open and spread on pieces of toasted bread, which is also very delicious. So what we're going to do now, I do believe those chickens and cows were score multipliers, but I'm not sure. Let's see if we can get one of those to pop up again. Okay, so as it turns out, those were in fact score multipliers. Let's take it up to about 1,500, let's say. And chickens love it when you beat your meat. As do the cows. Okay, so I think that'll do it for now. So if we press the C key here, we'll get the credits. So it'll just run down the where they got the graphics from, sound effects created by our dear friend Jetstorm4, tested by Tyler L. He beat his meat to the best of his ability. Amen. So that'll do it for now. I hope you enjoyed that little excursion. This is Poncho Smith, signing off. And remember, I'm not saying good night, I'm just saying.